Joined by Hofstra head coach Seth Tierney and Blake Cooling following Hofstra's 13-6 win over Fairfield. Coach, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm so proud of this team. Again, people can look at our record and say what they want to say, but these guys, they've done everything that we've asked them to do, and it's been the wind has been on our face a little bit. The great group. Starting this guy is the leader of leaders on this team, and he's done an unbelievable job. We had some rough news yesterday that Geekus wasn't going to be able to face off, and Cole Myers stepped up like a man today, and I'm really proud of him. Shea, after what we would think, maybe not as many saves in the Sacred Heart game, we start to look back. He really stepped up because they could have had, much more than 6 goals, and easily much more. There's no getting around it. We're gonna look at this film like we lost, and we're gonna dissect it because we need to be better. We had too many turnovers in the fourth quarter, and again, I'm so thrilled, but I'm already my wheels are spinning. But I couldn't be more happy for this group. I couldn't be more happy for this guy, I'm sure we'll cover it. Ryan Tierney Day. It was an emotional. It was an emotional pull before the game. I like to be locked in, and then I want to be with my son, and at that moment, and I'm just so proud of all the people at Hofstra that did that for him, and all the committees and all of that. And Ryan would take his name off the side of the building for a win today, especially against Fairfield. And so we're going to enjoy this one. It's been rough treading, so we are going to enjoy this one. And then we got to get back on the horse because we have the same situation coming up down in Philadelphia versus Drexel next week.
Blake, a few questions to start. Obviously, it's a fun little lacrosse thing when the pole guy scores a goal from midfield, but how much momentum does a moment like that mean for a team?
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge play. Coach Gongas, he does a great job with us. The defensive midfield, the D guys practicing. So we practiced that shot a few times this week, so credit to the coaches, and yeah.
And what did you see on it? I think, who passed you the ball?
Henry passed it up. I knew Coach T had been preaching it all week. They were going to 10-man a ton, so I took a peek. I was at midfield and just gave it a go.
And Steven, just to follow up, that's like a 2-pointer, right? I mean, it's just one of those things. It's a dagger, they think you got you pinned. And again, it's a low percentage shot, but Blake, he hits them consistently, or more consistently than some other people. He knows how to keep it low. He knows how to bounce it, 5-10 yards out, and he picked the middle of the goal. That was the second goal to tie it up after we went down 2-0, and it felt like we were up 4 or 5-2 after that, and it kind of gave everybody a little bit more fresh wind under their wings.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, the momentum feels like double when you get a goal like that.
Yeah, there's no question. A 3-pointer in basketball, when at the last second, it's a 10-man ride. You got a time clicking, and all of a sudden he bangs one in from really 60 yards. That's a big one.
And then 10 ground balls today, most for Hofstra players since Chase had 19 2 years ago. I don't know how long ago last a non-face-off guy had that many, but kind of what were you feeling today that you were able to find so many balls?
Nothing. I mean, I'll just give credit to the coach and my teammates putting me in a position to pick up the ball. We've been going over face-off game plan all week, going at it hard, and the ball was just bouncing my way. Teammates put me in good spots to pick up the ball.
Coach Tierney, can you just talk about him and kind of the ground ball play today for him?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think, you know it, and all of our fans know it. A ground ball is a possession or it's not a possession, but either way, it's a 2-possession swing. We should have had it, and now they have it, or they should have had it, and we have it. And for him to just pick up 10 by himself, that's a man's effort right there. That is a fifth-year man, leader, captain. No breaking, a couple of bending moments, but no breaking type scenario. He was selling out for ground balls. He was getting there. The anticipation of getting that first step to the ground ball is it's needed. It's a tip pass in basketball. It's one of those things where it's just sheer effort and sheer locked in, focus, buttoned up, all the terms that we use.
You talked about him a little bit before, but a game you doubled up your opponent, though. Your goalie was probably one of your top 2 or 3 players today. He was outstanding out there today. What did you see from Shea?
Yeah, Shea was, I think he was certainly disappointed in the last game against Sacred Heart, we didn't have that many saves. I think he felt like he could have had a couple more. And he's pretty hard on himself. He is. He's not highs and lows, but you can tell. And, maybe a game like this, I don't know where it's going to bring us. I don't. We have got an unbelievable opponent in Drexel, but getting this going is important. It's going to impact this week of practice. It's going to impact our travel. It's going to impact us going forward because we're in the second round of the playoffs right now versus Drexel in Philadelphia next week.
Real nice balanced attack offensively. Started pretty much by Joey and kind of continued by Anthony and Gus. What'd you see from those guys today?
I thought those guys played stress-free, worry-free, right? We were going to turn the ball over. We knew it, right? Because they play a pretty aggressive style of defense. They get after you a little bit. And there was a couple of feeds inside that Joe DeYoung finished. Gus, I think, hit maybe Malika on the backside down the far end of the field. And I thought those guys played free. I thought we did a really good job off the initial dodge to try to get the party started. And I don't think we wasted our steps on this when we banged it to keep the flow of the offense. That's been a big component.
Blake, defensively today, obviously only just the 6 goals against, and your goalie stood on his head to help you guys out. But in previous weeks, you guys had allowed some goals in transition. This week, you didn't allow any, not even a shot in transition. Can you talk about that? Yeah, I give all the credit in the world to Coach Gorman. He puts in a great game plan every week. We had some lapses executing those in the past, and I think this week we just attacked the week every facet of the week as best we could. But all credit to Coach Gorman putting us in spots all week to be successful in those transition plays. And then 40-24 out ground ball them. I mean, you yourself had 10, but that's still the team would out ground ball them significantly. Without that, can you just talk about what it means when you guys battle like that? Yeah, absolutely. Again, I just think all week it started with lift Monday morning. We wanted to attack the week as best we could. And it's just like a ground ball, attack it the best you could, just keep attacking, and I know we're going to try to do that moving forward. Coach Tierney, earlier this week, we spoke about how you hoped that the jersey retirement would impact the current team. How did it impact today's game? Yeah, I mean, Ryan, he came to Friday's practice, and he spoke to the team. He's a man of few words. He led by example, like out there. He was not a rah-rah guy. He was not in the front. He never led the team out. He was always making sure that everything was good in the back of the bus. And then I didn't know, I gotta be honest with you, I didn't know what it was gonna be like in the beginning of the game. I knew we couldn't do it at halftime because it was gonna be too much, right? And then it was emotional. It was emotional as a father. It was emotional. As a coach, it was emotional to look up there and see your son's name, to see the current players like hooting and clapping and the fans and the reception. I mean, as a parent, you win. Like that's a winning moment. I didn't know what was going to happen over the next 2 hours. I had no idea, but there was tears in my eyes going over to the team as we sang the song, the anthem. And just a quick message to Ryan Tierney out there. I love you, man.
One last question on Ryan Tierney moment. I guess ask you from not Coach Tierney, Father Tierney. Like, can you just talk about that moment, seeing it from a father's perspective today?
Yeah. He, like I said, nothing really shakes him when you have, I don't like saying this a whole lot, but when you have me as your father, you're basically prepared for anything. And when the announcer asked him to step forward, now I'm going to get emotional, and, Ryan Watson pulled down that black curtain, and I saw the tears in his eyes. There was like an Armageddon moment of me carrying him out of the hospital after he was born with his first lacrosse stick. And then all of the moments that led up to this moment was flashing through my head like 4th of July. It was like everything was just popping and going crazy. Remember this goal? Remember when we got into a fight here? Remember when we were yelling and screaming at each other? Remember the celebrations, the good times, the bad times? To have this moment, I can't thank Hofstra University, the athletic department, all the people that were involved in making this happen. That is a gift that does not have any value. That I can't repay it. It's a forever moment. And today was a forever moment with a forever game. These guys will remember the Fairfield 2026 game, because I don't know what's going to happen later on. I don't. But today is going to be a forever day for me and for this team. And
Thank
for
you,
our
guys.
team.
Thank you.
You got it.